Hello, guys. If you can hear me, can you please send me a yes or something that I know that you guys are hearing me properly, just to make sure everything is working fine, so we can start on time. Can you guys hear me properly? Please let me know. Hi, guys. If you guys can hear me, please let me know if you can hear me. If you guys can hear me, please let me know. Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? If you guys can hear me, please let me know if you're hearing well. Everything it's okay, please. We are starting in 2 minutes, okay, guys? Just to let you guys know, in 2 minutes, then we can start. Okay, guys, starting a minute or so. Just waiting for people to join us. Everyone to join us so we can start. But while we wait for everyone to join, what a crazy day we had on oil, right? We will go into more details in few minutes or so. But what a good action we had on oil today. If you trade scalp style or any kind of short-term trading, oil was the play here um, in the market, not just today but Friday and other days too. It's really good when you have kind of moves so large like we had here on oil. And then we got into a kind of a flag here, channel mode, range mode. But then after that, it's pretty much back to the highs again. So really good, really good. This is the kind of market that you want to be involved with, of course. But that's it. So it's time, guys. It's time to us to start and to beginning with. Thanks so much for being here with me today, to another live session. I'm planning to do this, um, you know, uh, more often than not. Every week if I can. The plan is to do every day. I'm just planning myself here to do something every day. I just need to sort out what time I need to do that. Because if I tell you a time and then I can't make it, that's not really good, is it? So I'm just sorting out what time suits me the best. So I have that specific time free every day. But when I find that exactly time to be free and come here live with you guys, I will let you guys know. But that's something that I will decide, um, you know, uh, I think tomorrow. So I'll let you guys know exactly what time that will be. But something that I'm thinking to do is something a time that I can get the London people and the US people as well. So we have a big group joining us rather than, just London or just US. But anyway, that's the plan, and I will let you guys know with the confirmation when that will, happen or so. So I will let you guys know as soon as I can. Okay, guys. And the live session today will look at pretty much everything that we can, from the dollar index to the FX pairs, equities, commodities, and if there is any other market that you want me to check, okay, just feel free to let me know. Okay, if it's a specific stock or a different commodity that I haven't had a look, let me know. I feel free to ask, and I'll be um, more than happy to give you my opinion there. Okay. So let's start, and I want to start with the dollar index. Okay, let's start simple here. And when I come to analyze the forex market, I normally the first thing I look is where the dollar is, and because from there I can go to the majors, and from the majors I go to the cross pairs. So doing that kind of order, if you look here the dollar index on the weekly charts, okay, long term kind of charts, we have been pretty much capped, okay, in this kind of a wedge or triangle for since August last year, which is crazy, right? So long, nearly a year. Soon enough we're gonna be nearly a year from um, from um, from being in this triangle here. So um, can you guys hear me properly? Oh, okay, that's fine. Um, so we have been in this triangle, and the bad thing is that it's not giving us any kind of move. Doesn't matter if it's in the bottom or the top of the triangle. The last kind of good move we had was in here, which was the start of December, which we had a quite a good slide to the downside. But after that, it's pretty much very, very sloppy. So it's really hard to trade this kind of market because you have to change your style. If you are kind of a medium to long term trader like I am, trading this it's a nightmare because if you hold a position for too long, you pretty much have a lot of trades going green very quickly maybe, okay, but going green, and then if you wait 2 or 3 days, you will have a trade that was positive back to flat. So that's not something that you want. So when you see a market in this condition, you only have one option is to be very patient, very, very patient. But to be very patient, guys, you need to have a good entry. You need to really have a good entry because if you don't have a good entry, that's that's the you will see more often than not see your trade going from green to red pretty quickly. So that's the first step, and the second step is if you can't be patient enough to wait, okay, and see what the market is planning to do, then you have to trade really short term, so daily trades, things like that. So that's the idea here, and the dollar, like I said, is locked pretty much in this kind of wedge triangle. And while we are still inside of this triangle, okay, or wedge, whatever you want to call it, it's gonna be like this, okay? It's gonna be like this. So that's the idea here is where we're gonna do. So the first thing you have to look is, if we start breaking highs here, which we'll have a quick look more clearly. Um, um, Shortly. But if we start breaking these highs here, I think we're gonna come around somewhere here in top of this wedge, okay? And then the second idea is what's gonna happen when he comes lower. Is he coming now lower and then bounce, or are we going to the highs and then go lower again? I don't know. That's the two things which can happen here. For now, if you look the candle of this week, of course, it's red, not looking that good, but still, it's only Monday. Okay, so this can change very quickly if he wants to. Okay, so going back to the daily here, like I said, we have this kind of resistance level, which is 97.72. That is huge, okay, for me. That's huge because you can imagine a lot of people trying to sell this market, expecting the dollar to get weakened in the future, near future. And they are pretty much putting their stop loss just above here, okay, above here and above 98. So if this market starts squeezing higher, I think a lot of stops gonna get hit on this move, and I think we're gonna go back, not back, but we will go above 98 very quickly, just because of that hit stop loss trigger kind of mode market. So very keep an eye on these levels because these levels for me are very clear, very clear. Okay, so for me what matters here is this 97.72 as resistance. If we break that and close above, guys, then expect a move a lot higher. And to be oops if and to be very honest, if that happens, and you use kind of a fib extension toe here, you can see, we have extensions around 98.50, 99. So those are those two levels which I will, use as a target if the dollar really breaks this resistance and close on daily basis above. Okay, guys. So that's the thing. Number two, what happens if we start sliding lower from now, or what happens is, something happens that we go here. We never break this resistance, we only go lower. What do I think is going to happen? And for me, it's very clear to the downside too. I think this trend line here, it's not the clearest, but the thing is, when you have this kind of, you know, of 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 a trend line that you see the market, testing so many times, more than 3 times, that's where you really like and you really expect something to happen. So if we go lower here, guys, expect something to happen in this area. Or if not, if we break lower, guys, we're gonna go a lot lower. So expect 94, 93. Those are the area which I think the dollar was is gonna go, because at the same thing is gonna happen here, as we had stops. We have stops of shorts positions above 97.72. We also have stop loss of longs. Um, below this low probably, or even this low here. So if we start squeezing below this area, guys, this market's gonna really gonna go lower. So expect 94 around this area at least, okay, for this market to do something, and then maybe a correction, go higher a bit, and then starts going lower as well. So for me, it's clear, but for now, there's not much to do really. What do I think this market's gonna do? I think for now we are a little bit more bullish than bearish, and the answer for that is very simple. We are not making new lows. We are making higher lows pretty much across the boards here. Very clear to see. So we are going, higher. So there is no reason to believe that this market is bearish for now. So if you are bullish, just keep that in mind. That's something that it's putting a little bit of a weight here to the upside more than to the downside. That's why you will see that I have some positions on the Kiwi dollar, for example. I have exposure there, pretty large at the moment, to be honest. I will give you guys a little bit more detail about that in a few minutes. But the dollar for me right now, it's a little bit more bullish than bearish. But there is no reason here for you to just buy dollar everywhere, because I think that's not the right time just yet. We need a little bit more confirmation of what the dollar is going to do for us to take actions. Okay, so keep that in mind. So for now, not the right time to trade. If you do trade, trade short term and wait for these two kind of levels to break. Okay, so 97.72, then this trend line, and then this low, which is 95.74. Okay, guys, those are the two levels on the dollar index. Keep things very simple. Okay, on the 4 hour here, maybe we have this channel working, but I'm not really looking at that much, because what I see on the daily and weekly charts are, because they are there, they are more important, okay, than what things that I see on the 4 hour. But you can see here why the daily, it's there holding a little bit, because we have kind of a support area here, maybe a channel. Okay, you can see here these two lines are clones, or the same, so maybe a channel here, maybe we can drop below this low. uh Let me draw here for you guys to understand what I'm saying is, break below this low maybe, and then jump. That's something that we can see tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. But that's something to watch. Okay, and we also have the 38 to Fibonacci Fib just below there as well, around 96.84. So this area here should serve as support for tomorrow, if we get there. Okay, guys, that's my thinking behind it. Um, but for now, a little bit more bullish than bearish, but pick your levels properly. Okay, pick your levels properly. That's my view here. Let's go to the major pairs here now. So the euro, we broke this kind of small wedge we had here on the 4 hour, and then we are here. Looks a little bit more bullish, right? So let's have a look on the weekly here. So the weekly, guys, the euro, the support here, the 618 fib, which we know it's the one of the strongest fib levels out there. It's holding the market very well. I think we do have this kind of a triangle going on, but like the dollar index, it's in the middle pretty much right now. So very hard to pick a level here and try to trade, try to see. On the daily, I had this triangle pretty much drawn here, but as I think I'm gonna delete this yellow. Maybe I would do something like this, maybe. And the reason is because we saw, you saw the market crossing this trend line so many times. So it's not a line that, the market is looking as a point of reference. So there is no point leaving there. So look something like this. So this 112, if we can see very properly here, very clear that every time we go near or at 12, 112, we see the market giving some action. So this 112 here, guys, it's key for the euro, looks like it, in my opinion. So if we do have a daily close, like a really daily close, I know we had here, there, just very slightly, okay? The close there was at 1193. So you're talking here about 7 pips lower, below the 12 level. But I really want a really good close below, you know and then the next day to have another red day. Okay, so like 2 days below 112, and that's confirmed to me that this is going low. It's breaking out. Okay, it's breaking out, in my view. But for now, there's not pretty much what to do. You can tell me, you can say, okay, we have maybe a double bottom now. Yes, very possible, very possible here. Yeah, we can. But to be honest with you, this is the kind of formation that you will see working not very often. Okay, so you need to really think wide. You need to find other reasons to trade, not just because we have two lows there. Um, if you look at this chart, you're gonna see that so many times before, and not playing that much. So don't buy this just because we have a double bottom in place. Okay, wait for this triangle to break first. Wait for the market to get above the 200 moving average, which will probably be, at the same time as this high here. So, wait for the market to break, and then you have a really valid and big reason to be long the euro here, in my view. But for now, it's very confusing. And if you do trade, you need to trade this very short term, because like I said before, we are in the middle of this kind of a wedge triangle, whatever you want to call it. And then every 15 pips, 20 pips you can get from this market, you should be happy. You should be happy because first, it's not moving as much. We are moving, I think, around 40 pips a day, or even less sometimes. So if you can get 20 pips, profit in a day, that's pretty good. You should be very, very happy. So for me, not really what to do. So keep an eye on 112 for support, and for resistance, watch out this 113.50 to start with, which is going to be this triangle, okay? And then 114 kind of level, Here's, you can see business going on here as well, right? Every time goes 114, the market stops, this market, and 112. So 112, 114, 1350 as well to watch out. Okay, so that's the euro for me. Not doing anything here right now, but if you get close to one of these levels, you need to watch. Wait, for two things: it's gonna break, or is it time for me to pick a trade here? That's the thing, okay? Because we always have to think about the risk reward as well. So if this euro goes back to 112, are you gonna buy with a very very small stop loss, or what are you gonna do? So that's the thing to do. But for me, the good thing here is that if we do drop below 112, that's good, because we will see, in my eyes, I really believe that if the euro stop breaking 112, the forex market is going to be a little bit more active. Okay, that's where orders will go out and come in, and people will take money from there to put it on the euro or on the dollar, whatever it's going to happen. Something like that is going to happen, and that's why I think that if 112 goes, or 113, 114 goes, that's where the forex market is going to come and starts to be a little bit more alive. Okay, in that sense. So that's one thing I'm watching very closely. Now, let's go to the most confusing, hardest. What else? What else? What else can we call the cable, guys? What can we call the cable? I don't really know what to say. Um, and I'm talking about fundamentally. What happened? What's gonna happen to Brexit? Is gonna happen? It's gonna be hard Brexit. It's gonna be what, and pretty much no one knows. It's votes after votes, knows, here and there, not many yes, which it's bad because it always open doors for other things to happen. This can happen, maybe this can happen, and this only brings confusion, right? So that's not something that we we like, in any currency or any country or whatever. Okay. But anyway, going to the cable here, and let's look this only as a technical analysis, pretty much, because if you look the weekly here, I'm not too sure what to do. What to do? Maybe this is a channel. That's what I have there. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe you can call this another channel. I don't know, something like that. Maybe you can do it. Maybe something like that. I don't really know. Maybe it's a triangle as well, isn't it? Maybe you can call this a triangle like that. Without this line there. I don't know. So there are so many things, and when you see um, so many information like that, which makes you a little bit more confused than normal, you should step away, okay? Because it can happen so many things, and in the end, if you do trade, you will be gambling, pretty much. So this is a market, in my eyes, very confusing. We broke this trend line. I start thinking, okay, now we're going back to 127, maybe, 128, probably this area here. And then the market jumped for a few days, came back to 132. And then I was like, okay, it's not looking that bearish. Big rejection as well at 130, as we saw so many days before. What now? This thing can, come back and test 133.50 again, and then the market slumps back down. So it's very confusing, very, very confusing. You can tell that that's just because the forex market is dead. Yeah, yeah, maybe. That also puts a little bit more reason there, but at the same time, you don't want to trade a market that is going through a very, very difficult situation, especially fundamentally. And it's something that can happen overnight, can happen any time of the day, And imagine, we saw the flash crash happening at 11 p.m. London time. I still remember that. So you don't want to open a trade, and in the end, in the back of your head, you are a little bit worried. Okay, so that's my opinion. That's why I'm not trading the cable here, because I don't want to add risk to my portfolio. Okay, so that's my thing here, especially in this environment with market is not moving. So I'm trying to minimize the maximum I can to make loss, because it's so hard to gain nowadays. It's so hard to make profit nowadays because the market's not moving. So every time, if you can do anything that minimize the risk, that's what you want to do. Okay, so that's the cable for me. So for me, I don't know what to do, but the key here for me, I think on the short term, like I said, is 130 and 130, 150 now. Looks like a kind of a wedge on the short term on the 4 hour chart here. So this zone 130 is support, and in this trend line here is gonna serve as resistance for tomorrow. I don't know what day we're gonna test one of these two levels first. Okay, but one thing, guys, wait for the close. Okay, wait for the close, because as you can see here, this market is loving to give big wicks, right? On the bottom, at the top, whatever. Okay, so just, not just because the market is here, you know, it's not because the market is just here. You want to stop buying. Okay, wait for the market to close above it. Give to give you that extra confirmation. Okay, because in the end, this market can take here for days and then do that, and then I don't know. Okay, this type of things can happen very easily. So for me, the two key levels are there. So wait for maybe a 4 hour close below or above these levels, or especially a daily close as well. Okay, that's the most important thing as traders in this kind of market. Okay, guys. So The pound is there. I'm not doing this. I'm not trading any euro or any pounds exposure. I don't have anything right now. Okay, they're not the clearest for me, or they are a little bit clearer, but they are in the middle of something. Okay, so that's not the right time for you to trade. So let's go to the Swissy now. And the Swissy, as you expect, to be a little bit, because of the negative correlation, you expect something to look very similar to the euro, but the upside. But if you look at the weekly here on the Swiss, it's not like the euro, isn't it? It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more clear as well, I think, on the weekly. Okay, we're gonna go to the daily in a few minutes, but the weekly looks, I find, like this. So it's very clear, very clear to know when this market's gonna break out. We're gonna break out, or if we close above 1.0100, or a close below 99, okay, level. These are the two levels in my view which this market's going to confirm, are we breaking out or not. Okay, so keep in mind these two levels, guys. For now, there's not much else to do, pretty much. um, in the middle of these two levels, that's not where you want to do business. That's not where you want to do business. Okay, in the middle. So wait for it. Use this chart as well, guys, as something to trade the euro. If you like to trade the euro, use check the Swissy because of the negative correlation. If maybe this can start breaking out before the euro does break out. You know, so keep an eye on those two charts and see and use the correlation to help you out with the trading. Okay, maybe this can start breaking out first to the upside or downside, and then it gives you a early, what can you call it, early entry to the market. Okay, so you can use this correlation to your benefit. So like I said, is 1.0100 and 99 or 98.50. I can tell if you're looking this 4-hour chart, it looks a little bit lower. So and this trend line, okay, very clear trend line. You can see three big tests there, and then if this comes here, maybe you can buy, stop loss here, take profit there, entry here, you can see. But for now, there's not pretty much nothing to do here in my view, but keep an eye. I think we are very close to start breaking this higher or lower, um, because it's very choppy. You can see here on the 4-hour chart how boring is that. It's quite upsetting. Any questions, guys? If you do have any questions, let me know. I'm more than happy to explain to you guys if there is anything you don't understand or you want me to teach you or something. Okay, so feel free. So that's Swissy. What else? Let's check the dollar yen. Okay, this is one that the market had a bit of a shock today. We closed the last week very positive if you look at it on the weekly perspective here. Last week candle very positive, back to pretty much close to the highs. Everyone went on Friday, the longs went home very happy, and then today we had a really aggressive red day. If you look the 4-hour chart here, it's for if you look quantity of pips, it's not much, but if you compare to the days we are having, it's such a boring thing. But anyway, so we had a really bad day start of Monday here, and then we are now pretty much on the middle. So now it looks a little bit fine, but the longs had a bit of a headache early today, in my view. But I don't really know what to do. Let me delete a few things here. This here, yeah. I delete this. This was a channel, so the market broke and continue moving higher. Okay, so what I can see here is that the market it's a little bit more aggressive to the upside. So if you are shorting, you need to be a little bit more careful and know exactly where you want to go out. Okay, you can see that the market, even with today slides, okay, so today's slides, the market hold it the 23.6% fib, which is a fib, guys, that is used in corrections. Okay, and when the market holds this first fib, it shows us that this market's very heavy to the upside, very heavy with positions with the trend. So shorting here, knowing that the market only correct this, it's a little bit dangerous. A little bit dangerous. If I was short this market, if I shorted the market anywhere here, I would expect the market to just hold somewhere here and then, maybe slides. But when the market, comes here and then straight away bounce and recovers 50%, that's not a bearish sign. Okay, it's not a bearish sign. And of course, this can happen on the opposite direction, right? To the lows as well. So that's something here to note. And the market as well, this dollar yen also broke, um, went lower and bounced because of the S&P and equities. We're gonna have a quick look at that as well. As you can see, the market went, lower here, but we are back to the highs already today. So that is why the dollar yen is like that, and because of correlation as well, of course. But that's where dollar yen is. But let's go back to the, have a quick look on the weekly. And the weekly, guys, this is what I see, and it's a very clear image that I believe that we have a triangle here in place. Um, in this dollar yen, the market's locked, some big moves. That's what you expect in each triangle formation. Okay, and to trade where we are now, it's a little bit tricky. So you have to make sure what you're doing to trade in the middle or very close, not at the top of a triangle bottom. We can still move 100 pips higher. So you don't want to open a trade and be 110 pips negative and then, think if it's time to close or not. Wait, be patient, all right? So, and looking the daily as well, I don't see anything here to make me go with this market. So that's what I think here. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. The only thing I know is that this market looks a little bit more bullish than bearish. That goes as well with my view on the dollar. That goes as well with the moves we seen on equities. So for me here, there is no reason to be bearish dollar yen in my view. Okay, that's my view, and it's showing here. This move here is shown. There are big buyers. And they're stepping in, and I'm not gonna be surprised if tomorrow we break this high here. And go above and test this 112 or Wednesday. Okay, so that's my view here. But right now or in the short term, is there anything you want to do? I'm not too sure. Not in my view, not in my eyes. Um, but one thing I can tell you is that this 112 is big. It's big because we've seen here in the past, how the market reacted in this area before. He held it pretty much 3 times. On the fourth, hold it as well. And then the next day, pretty much nothing, doji. And then the next day, big red day. And then market went a little bit low, it stopped correction mode, and then slumped down, okay, hard. So this 112, 112, 23, those are the levels to the upside as resistance on the dollar yen. Okay, guys, let's go to the dollar Canadian. Dollar Canadian, guys, big move today on the dollar Canadian. I'm not too sure why. I'm not too sure why we had this huge move on the dollar yen on the dollar Canadian. But anyway, that's that's the market. Anyway, this is another market that on the long term I don't see too much. I only see kind of a channel here, but we aren't really in the middle of this channel, so it's very hard for trade on the daily here. Let's have a quick look on the daily. So the daily, we had, I don't know what to do. because the thing is, I was looking at this market a few days ago, and we created this kind of a triangle, and then the market broke here, went higher, and then I went long, did a good money. The market came back. I tried to get long, made few pips, but didn't hold until we got here, closed like here, I don't know, and then the market went there, and now we are back here again. So it's very confusing, right? It's very choppy. I don't know what can happen. I don't know if this is a triangle. Maybe maybe it's a trend line here. The market goes a little bit lower. I don't know. Um, so like I said, there's too many things going on. I don't know what to do. I don't really like when we have a triangle, okay, and we retest the triangle many times. I like when we do only once. So either we break to the up or downsides, whatever. If we break and then start retesting this triangle like that, I don't really like it, because most of the time you're not gonna see a big move after that. You only see the market correlates, stays at the same kind of level for a few days and then make a move, you know. So if you see the market breaking and breaking and then retesting, retest, not a follow through, that's worrying. Very, very worrying. So this is what is happening here. We're not seeing that follow through to the upside. The market is holding well, and it's not doing too much. Okay, so I prefer to stay away. Okay, I prefer to stay away on this market here. On the short term, like right now, we are maybe possible triangle bottom. So if we see the market popping early tomorrow, you know exactly why, okay? But we need to hold this low here. And another thing, if we start breaking this triangle overnight, Asia, Asia session, you can expect something like this happening, after that. So, hopes for the market to hold this triangle in the Asia market, and then London opens, maybe break lower or break higher. Okay, that's my thinking here on the dollar Canadian. Okay, so let's go to the other market. So let's now go to Aussie. So the Aussie here, possible triangle. Very clear here, isn't it? On the short term, we have this huge area of resistance here right now going on, retesting. I think we're gonna break higher. That's why my idea is weekly. Let's go to the weekly first, and the weekly here, and the weekly here, and the weekly looks something like this. I don't know. Maybe I'm not gonna add here because it's not gonna look that great. But weekly, I don't know what to do. Let's go to the daily. It's gonna be a little bit more clear. Yeah, something like this, isn't it? Yeah. So I don't know. On the daily, it looks like a triangle, but then we have a little bit like another big trend line above it, few pips above. So it's not gonna surprise me for us to break and then come this level and then reverse from there. And why do I think it's gonna reverse a little bit higher? It's just because of the dollar. So the dollar for me is going to be the key here on the short term. If is the dollar going to break higher? If it's the dollar start breaking higher, there's no reason for us to be long here as well, isn't it? So the dollar looks a little bit bullish. The Aussie, continues to be like this. And one of the reasons why the dollar is the Aussie dollar, the Australian dollar is strong is because the RBA was not as dovish like the RBNZ was, isn't it? So comparing those two countries there, one being dovish, another one being a little bit more hawkish, that's why the Aussie is a little bit stronger. And we can see this very closely, very clear as well on the Aussie New Zealand, isn't it? You can see how strong this is. So these are the two currencies which pretty much moves together. So when you see this change of dynamic, when one moves is stronger, another one is weaker, that's what happens. Explosive move from you know zero 0.3 to zero 0.5, nearly zero 0.6, so 300 pips move on only few days here. It's quite dramatic. It's surprising. It's surprising. Okay, so going back to the Aussie, looks stronger, and I wouldn't sell right now. Even though we are in this resistance area here, I think we're gonna break. Um, but I don't know what's gonna happen higher. Depends on what the dollar is gonna do. But don't try to sell this just yet. Okay, wait for confirmation. Wait for other signals, something like that. So that's the Aussie. Let me give you some levels here to work with. So keep an eye here on this 7140, 7150. Okay, 7150 to start with, and then we start breaking that. Wait for 72, 7190, somewhere here, and we also have the 200 moving average there as well. So, this area here is an area which it looks it looks possible. It looks possible to reach and maybe do business there. Okay, that's my idea on the Aussie here. Now let's go to the market, which is the only market I have trades with. Believe or not, okay, that's the only market I'm trading, and is the Kiwi. And the Kiwi, guys, I have been tracing this market um, for quite a while, and I'm quite happy with my work here in this market. Let's have a quick look on the weekly here. On the weekly, as you can see here, let me delete this film. Um, as you can see here, we had pretty much a very clear triangle, small, very small, but it is a triangle, and some moving averages just above there. And then what happens is that we had the RBNZ saying that the risk, the chance for them to cut, it's a lot higher than them increasing their interest rate. So when they said that, the market really said, okay, they are very dovish, so let's sell the New Zealand dollar, and that's what happened. So we had this massive red day. um, on that night, I left some orders, hanging there. And then when the announcement came out, that was straight away the market just went lower. So that was quick and good fun. And then I thought to myself, okay, let's see what the market does now. Are we gonna jump, or are we gonna do something? Because the thing is, when you have trading like news, central bank news, and you see the market really going higher or lower, if the market starts doing this and then reach the 50%, retrace 50% of the move, most of the time you will see the market going back. Okay, going back. We saw something very similar to the euro, I believe. Let me check here quickly. Um, we have the FOMC here. Yeah, we had the FOMC on this high. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we had the FOMC, really putting the dollar to the bed. And then, the market very slowly start retracement. And then when we retrace the 50%, which was somewhere here, right? You know what's gonna happen. The market's gonna go back. So we saw something very like that very not long ago. So the Kiwi here was like that. I was like, okay, what's the market gonna do? And then the market stopped. Closed pretty much at the lows of the session there on that candle. And then the market did give a very small green candle, and then the market just stopped there, and we never retraced the 50% again for now. Okay, so that is quite good for those days. And now we have something a little bit more interesting in my view, and that's why I'm gonna share with you guys why I'm keeping my shorts in play, even though the forex market, it's very slow. But I want to be prepared. I want to be ready when the market really starts moving back again, because I don't think we're gonna keep in this very small, very low volatility forever or for longer time. I do believe very soon we're gonna see the market moving, pricing in few things here and there, and then when that happens, I want to be in a good trade already. So this here, I'm really really happy with this because first we had this triangle here on the daily charts. Okay, this is a daily chart. We saw we had this triangle, and why is it triangle? Because we have three touches on the bottom. Okay, and we have three, pretty much highs. Maybe you don't even need to count this one, but only this here. It's good, right? And then we saw this breaking, guys, and look where we are, pretty much. Okay, we are just holding there, not doing too much. Just found support at the 200 moving average. That's okay. That's what you expect. But I do expect tomorrow or Wednesday, to start going lower again. Okay, and as you can see, the market tries to correct, sells very aggressively, bounce very aggressively, and the reaction we had today is very very small. If you compare this move that we had today with the era, for example, look how different they are. So automatically you can see that this market is very heavy to the downside. So everyone is taking any chance they can to step in and sell the New Zealand dollar. Okay, so that's a good thing. And the weekly as well, as you can see, the weekly starts, so looks like the market's trying to give kind of a retest and then go lower. But you're gonna see many times the market not reaching totally to that trend line. So you need to get prepared. That can happen or not. So in another words, is that tomorrow maybe we can come retest this trend line and then move lower, or not, or move straight away down. So that's the thing. But the good thing here is that I alerted you guys about this trade, right? I have entries all over here. So the good thing is that we have good entries, so we can manage our trades very well. So even if this market points, shows me that I'm wrong, which can be, okay. And imagine we close a green candle, a big green candle like that, back inside the triangle, then I close my shorts with still a great profit. So this is a free trade. What I mean is, my stop loss is at break even already. Actually, they are in positive, so even if it hits my stop loss, I will make money still. But I will keep an eye on this market, because if we do have a candle inside closing, okay, a daily close above, inside of the triangle, then I cut my trades, and that's it. But for now, it's working properly. It's doing okay. It's doing like expected. So that's what I do. And what to expect now? So what do I expect now? I do expect something like this, pretty much, like a really aggressive move to the downside, especially if the dollar starts to get bid again, going higher. The Kiwi, I think, is going to be the weakest currencies out there. It is already. So I think if the dollar starts to get bids tomorrow, I think that only will continue, um, for the Kiwi. So we are, I think, on the right place for now. Being the weakest currency, breaking information, giving us a lot of signals of a top. That's good. That's good, and it's a clear charts as well, isn't it? Clear charts, breaking trend lines, breaking triangles. It's good. It's good to see that happening. But you should be probably asking yourself, what is my target? And my target, to be honest with you, it's a little bit complicated to give targets when you're waiting for another market to break out as well. So what do I mean is that the QE already broke a triangle, right? So what I'm waiting out is for this to break. So if we start seeing the dollar index breaking this, there's no reason for me to just close the QE straight away, because What is showing me is that the dollar index is breaking. So if the dollar index is breaking and it's going to continue moving higher for the next few days, why should I close the QE like now? I can make a little bit more money. So needs to be patient. So my idea here is to look these both charts pretty much at the same time, see what happens here and there. And if we see the dollar index moving higher, breaking resistance, then it's gonna only give me more reason to hold those positions and get a better profit. Okay, so going back to the queue here, but forgetting about the dollar index, where should I be like really happy of closing positions and get a profit and planning for the next trade? I think I would probably be very happy at the 66.50, So we are talking here about 50, 100 pips lower, okay? Not far, not far. So, I moved to here to the 618. This area here for me, it's a good area. It's a good area to take profits. Ignoring the dollar index chart, okay? That's my idea. But like I said, I will keep an eye on both of them. If I see the dollar index breaking, then it's only gonna give me, reasons to hold and maybe, hold for 65 and then to the lows. So that's my idea, my plan here on the dollar, the New Zealand dollar. Okay. That's it. And those other the forex market. We had a quick look there. So let's have a quick jump on the gold market. So gold, a pop today, a pop today, came to this resistance on the daily at 1302. Finding resistance there, as you can see here on the 4-hour chart, we had a big red candle here, but I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. I have both reasons to believe. I have both reasons to buy and not to buy, but not being a seller. This market here, I'll be very honest with you guys. This gold market is one that I don't want to be a seller. Like I really don't. This market. I think the play here is only be patient and buy. Okay. Today I had a friend asking me, came to me and said, "Oh, I want to plan my retirement. So I want to save money and blah blah blah. What stocks do you think I should buy and stop, saving and buying shares so I can get dividend back and things like that?" And I start thinking, I was like, really, like, really, tell someone to buy stocks? Really? Uh, I don't think so. So I told him, look, buy codes because this market here, I believe that in few years or in few years it's gonna be a lot higher, and that's because I do think, guys, just to give a very short summary, I think the dollar is gonna go higher and then lower. Like we're gonna go maybe, okay, maybe I don't know. This can happen like now, but the perfect scenario for me is the dollar to uh, come here and then start selling off. That's my perfect scenario. But like I said, this can happen like now. So this can do that and then moving lower. So that's my view. But going back to gold, okay? Going back to gold, I'm not too sure what's gonna happen here. I have both reasons to believe that this market will now stabilize and then start moving higher again. But at the same time, I don't really trust this kind of Monday's move. See what I mean? Maybe can be a ABC correction back to this trend line. This would be a perfect this here. I'm prepared to take it. I prefer to buy and be very satisfied with that position. Okay. By now, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do here. I don't really know. Maybe okay. Maybe this is a wedge. It's building up. And talking about wedge, if you look at the silver market, this is a really good um, 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 trend line as well. I'm ignoring this stuff here because this it's only happening on the cash contract. if you look the futures, this it doesn't have this spike. So that's why I'm ignoring this high. Okay, but the silver here, very very similar, very strong looking kind of trends wedge, and very clear as well that we have this area here of support, isn't it? So silver is here. So this is another one that you can look to buy, right? And silver long term, if we start breaking above this trend line, guys, be ready. Be ready for a big rip. And gold, I think, has a similar thing as well, isn't it? Like this trend line here is huge on the long term. So I'll move to above 1360. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. But gold here on the short term, like today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, I'm not too sure what can do. I was hoping to see gold lower, like I said, on this area here. Um, but still not there. So I'll be away. I'll be on the sidelines here, and silver, same thing as well. But silver, this area here for me is very clear. So that's why I have a reason here, like to like this chart more than gold, just because the support area is it's a lot clearer. And that's silver and gold. So I'm not sure what to do. But tomorrow, guys, if we start breaking this wedge, I don't know. That's something to, I don't know. Yeah, it will be a little bit more bullish than bearish, I would say. Okay. Just because today as well we have this huge green candle, engulfing a lot of candles before. So it's quite positive already. So you start breaking this wedge, it cuts a little bit of a reason of trying to sell the market. Okay. That's silver and gold. Let's have a quick look on copper. Copper not doing too much. I'm not really liking this kind of move, guys. It's no follow through. So a lot of things can happen here, like I said about triangle of breaking and just retesting and never giving a big move. It's happening the same thing here, isn't it? Like a huge area, the market is just boom, 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 and not doing nothing pretty much. So this is a market that you want to be far away because you can jump, can go lower, can do anything. So it's a kind of market that you want to be away. You want to be away. It's not a tradable kind of market, isn't it? So that's something here that we have to note. Oh, we have another one. This here I was watching and I missed. I'm so pissed off. Like, fuck me. I was like looking this shot so closely on the daily basis, and I was like, where was it? Oh, this weekly chart. This is the one I was seeing. I was like, man, and I even left orders there on these fips here. I said like 1650 is gonna be the key here. I want to sell this market. Let's bet. Let's be a little bit more greedy. Let's hope the market gets there. And look what happened. Just felt short. So I missed the trade. And you can see what I'm moving, isn't it? From the top to where we are now, it's 14% to the lows, 17. Bloody hell. You know, good trend, good trade. Worked out, but I was never there. So here it is, and let's have a quick look. If we do a fib from the low to the high, let's see. So as you can see, we corrected, to the 38 too. That was expected. I was expecting that. If I was short, from here, which I wish I was, this was the area. This here was the area I was going to cut my trade. Like close my shorts, because it's a healthy trend, a really strong trend. No question about it. Healthy pullback, and maybe now this is gonna go back to the highs again, or here, 1500. It's possible. Okay, so um not place you want to sell, not place. I think it's good to be buyer, because if you buy here, your stop loss should be here because it's below this low here. So your risk should be here if you're long, you know. But for me, it's too late already, so doesn't really doesn't really help. Maybe tomorrow we can have another pullback, or end of the week, Thursday, maybe maybe a triangle is beating up, something like that. Maybe we can try a long then, but now, like, we're right here, not not the best place to have a trade. And that's palladium. Let's have a quick look on oil. So oil, guys, this is another trade that I am in. I have three positions open right now on oil. I have one here at 61.74. I have another one here at where? Oh, 63.30. And then I had another order at 64. So my average right now, I think it's around here, 63.40. So, and I have another one if I want to really add a position. So I'm okay. Okay. So I'm building, trying, not trying, but giving myself the best average price I can get. So I'm adding very slowly, small positions here and there. I can add up to four positions. I have already three, and getting ready for this market because there. Let me explain to you why I believe we may have a top very soon. Is that uh, we are pretty much retesting this trend line. I know we are above, but the close for me is the key, not the current price. Especially because today's Monday. Okay, especially because of that. This candle, looks so bearish, so bullish right now. But what happens is if we close red, that's where shooting stars happen, isn't it? People look at this, say, "Oh, bullish, yeah, let's buy, let's buy." This market's not gonna go any lower; it's gonna go only higher. And when it comes, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, the market just leave a big wick and a red candle, and that's what shooting star is made for, right? So right now we are above the trend line. We are above the 618, but the close for me is the key here, in my view, in these weekly charts. The weekly chart, guys, I only look at this chart once a week. Once a week. Why? Because if you look this chart every week, every day, sorry, if you look this chart every day, um, it's gonna make you make silly mistakes because you will see this candle right now not looking any bearish at all, and then you just make silly mistakes, silly decisions. So I only look this once a week, okay? Maybe on Wednesday, maybe on Friday after market close, because I know what exactly happened. What's gonna um, what how the market closed, right? So what happened now and until Friday is all noise pretty much. So let's see what happens then. So the charts I most keep an eye on is the daily and 4 hour. Okay. So here is oil on the daily. So the daily we had this kind of a rising wedge. We stopped there and now we are here. So it looks like we are breaking a little bit higher. So maybe this wedge is not in play anymore. What I will do, I think I will delete this trend line here. I'm gonna only keep these one. Let's see. No, it's not gonna do it. I know, but yeah, maybe this. I can leave it there. So, um, the oil market, and let me keep this blue line here because that's the close we had here and here as well, and here as well. So you can see the 64.82 is huge as well. So this area that oil is for me is a big wall, big area. I normally I don't look at specific numbers. I look at areas. As you saw, targets, stop losses. That's how I look things. in this market or any other market. Um, so oil for me, it's in this area that it's a big wall. Okay, so we can see reaction anywhere inside here. Okay, in my view, on oil. And if you look the daily chart on RSI, guys, it's at 77. The last time we were at 77 was here at this top here. Yeah, we saw actually was here, and then we made a slightly new high and then broke higher, right? And the last high we were here as well above 70. Um, but as high as we got, and this one here actually it went all the way to 82. That's huge. That is huge. I don't think we saw 82 for Jesus. I don't see that any, not even 2005. This one here was 78, 78, 78. So you can see the 78, 80 level on RSI. It's where the game starts to play. So, you know, that's I'm building, and it's something that um, I'm quite happy holding and waiting for days or weeks if it's possible. But I do believe we're gonna go and making, we're gonna come back to maybe 56 very quickly or 50. Those are the areas which I think I can get feel take my trades off the table or at least half. But because of the global growth we are having right now, things slowing down, oil is not going to be sustainable if it continues to move higher. Okay. Of course, that helps a little bit inflation. Central banks probably a little bit higher now, but at the same time, people are not spending as much. And if oil continues moving higher like that, it can damage its own economy, right? We saw Trump tweeting 2 times about oil prices. 2 times failed because I think I even noted here actually. Yeah, once. The other one I don't remember when it was. I forgot to put a note here, but you can see here that he talked about oil prices getting too high and argues OPEC to relax. So you can see the initial move lower and then oil bounces, and I think the next one. I think the next one was like somewhere here. I think this one here actually. Yeah, initial move lower and then big bounce. So that's why I'm tweeting about it, not Trump. Asking Trump not to tweet about oil because if he does, it's not good. It's not good. This can go a little bit even higher a bit. But anyway, you know, um, fundamentally, it's not healthy. Oil being, that high. So many things going on this here. I'm only gonna stick to the technical part on this live session, so doesn't take too long or be so confusing. But technically, this here it's playing out uh, here. I think for now, um, I know we are at the highs. I know we are squeezing. I know that, um, but I need to get patient. I know where I want to get out, and the risk here for me, and let's think with me here. Where should I say, okay, I'm wrong, get out? Okay, that's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine until oil doesn't get above 70, to be honest with you. And the reason is number one, maybe possible channel here. Okay, already draw this, so maybe this can come here and then down. Number two, we maybe have a head and shoulders in place, and the target for this formation here is at 68. And third, we have kind of, you can see here this high, this low. So this is the next area which I think the market is gonna pay a little bit attention as well. So I'm prepared for the market to reach there too. Okay, so that's why I'm not gonna add my last position, my fourth position right now or tomorrow. I'm only gonna I'm only gonna add if if we get to 67 area, 68. That's where I had my last position, and then my average price is going to be a lot higher, which is good. Which is good because if the market turns, then I'm good for that. You know. So for now, it's playing well. Okay, is at the 786 fib extension. So I'm adding the first point here, second this high, and the third here, which gives the 786 fib. Okay, and if I add a fib extension as well from this high to this low, yeah, we're only gonna have the 2.618 at the 65 area, somewhere there. So that's why I don't have here just yet. It's noted, I remember, but for now, that's what I see. Let me try something else here. I'm just doing a thing which I forgot to do. Okay. Yeah, so you can see here many things um, not really giving um, really short term. So that's why I'm using this fib extension, trend based fib extension to give me levels above because the other ones are so long term, only gives a lot levels above, you know. I had another one here as well, I believe. I think this one here. Yeah, which is a bit lower, so no point. But that's it, guys. Okay, looking tomorrow, Tuesday, can be a turnaround Tuesday. I don't know. I don't really know. But I'm patient here because if this, this can quickly change around. Big red candle here, like that. Monday gone pretty much, and then this weekly candle is gonna be pretty much flat. So as you can see, things can change very, very quickly. So I'm patient, seeing what we can do here, and that's it. Let's see if I have my trading tech. 1 second, guys. One second. Okay. Let me put one simulation here. There are a few things here which I can't allow you guys to have a look. Um, okay, simulation. Here we go. So this is the same price which I get on my normal platform anyway. So as you can see here on this square here is the oil price ladder. So as you can see at the moment we having like large positions, at the market right now. 69.49, 64.43, 53 orders. Okay, these are orders left, okay, by institutions at this market. Okay, and as you can see, comparing to the buyers, there are not many people buying, but that can also be because they already bought, before. So really depends on what happens here. But as you can see, there are people adding, orders to sell to try to stop this market and thinking that we maybe have a top here about 9 points away. So things are changing a bit, changing a bit here on the oil. Okay, but be very careful trading this oil market. It can be a little bit dangerous if you don't trade well. So before you open a position, calculate how much you can afford to lose, and do that first, okay, before jumping in this market, because this here can be like equities, okay, very crazy indeed. Let's go to the S&P very quickly before we end. So the S&P, guys, it's back at the highs. Look at that. Look this daily chart here. The buyers are so happy, right? Green day, another green day. And look where we are, guys. Very close to the highs now. Uh, I need to admit, I was not expecting this huge move here, and I'm not. I know the reasons why it's there, and you guys know as well. People are into this central banks. I'm not gonna say specific names, but you guys know. You know, So this is a market, in my opinion, manipulated a bit, because if you look at economic data, if you look around, I live in the I live in the UK, and things are not so great here. I speak to friends in the US. I speak to friends in America. They pretty much say the same thing. So why this market is going back to the highs like that so quickly, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But it's crazy. But that's how it is, right? On the 4 hour here, we have a trend line here. Keep in mind this trend line, guys. We have one, two, three, four, five, and right now is the sixth time. Break. Oh, I don't know what we can do here. I hope that we don't break higher on the Asian session. If we do break on London session, because if that happens, we're gonna see a follow through to the upside rather than just stay on the range mode. Okay, that's my thinking behind it. On here, next level to look, guys. Watch this pitchfork, which is playing very well in this market actually. It's gonna be around 29.01. Okay. Let's have a look on the other ones. So the Dow is not going with the S&P. Crazy, huh? Look at that. Very good divergence there. And the down, guys. Well, we still have about 45 minutes to close, right? I think 45 minutes. Yeah, 44 minutes to close. Still red here, you know. So quite good candle, confirmation candle. We spoke about this on the chart room. For those that are in the chat room, we spoke about this candle being a gravestone doji, being a shooting star, maybe, and a red candle just confirms that. So that's good. But one thing here, one thing I don't like here is because I was hoping that we could get a close below this high here that we had here, which is 26.28.7. We are above that. So if we if we were below this blue line, I was like a lot happier, like a lot happy, like really happy. But because we are here, I'm happy, but not as much. You know, um, it's not the confirmation I was hoping for, but it's not a market I really want to buy or sell here. To be honest with you, not like not just the Dow, but any equities I'm not playing with. Nasdaq, it's another big green candle, guys. Very close to the highs as well. The highs are here at 7,702. So very close to get there. I don't see anything. I had an harmonic here. You can see the market reacted, but not a good not a good move. Then reverse. This market only moving high. It's crazy, 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 crazy. Let me check something here. High to the low. Okay, so we can see here the market was, holding well at this fib extension, but now we are going to new high. So, possible 76.81 here if this continues moving higher. But on the short term, if you might ask me, okay, on the short term, it does look stretched. Yes, it does. Divergence. But guys, I don't know. I think the market is only going to ignore those type of momentum indicators, to be honest with you. So keep an eye only on the daily, on the weekly RSI kind of, you know, thing. And soon enough, we're going to be here and we're going to reach levels like we had here at this top, right? So keep in mind there. And another one, let's have a quick look on the VIX here. So the VIX was looking quite good at the start. Kind of a wedge here, maybe on the 4 hour. Had drawn, not the best wedge I ever seen, but was helping me, guiding me what could happen. But we actually opened higher and then just not doing anything here. The daily, guys, actually we made a new low. When was this? On the 5th. So this was on Friday. So new low on Friday and then closed well above here. So I don't know. Strange, you know. Look at that, testing this trend line that we had here. Look how many times we had a test at this trend line here. It's very interesting trend line, guys, to watch. Okay, no one's talking about the VIX anymore. Everyone's talking about, it can continue moving opposite S&P, can continue not following S&P, whatever. But this trend line is still here, holding very well. And one thing I can tell you is that if we start breaking this trend line here, guys, I do expect a move a lot, like a really good move to the upside. While we are here, keep an eye on this trend line, see what the market does. Maybe get long there, but get small long. Okay, don't get aggressive, and be very careful. Now, if you're buying S&P or any equities, guys, it's very, very, very. How can I say? Um, Go slow. Okay, it's just because of the VIX. The VIX here, like I said, is giving some signals of maybe can do a little bit of a bounce, not reversal, but a little bit of a bounce. So the S&P, maybe being so green today, like oil, this thing can change today, can change tomorrow, Wednesday. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens on the next few sessions. Let's have a quick look on the DAX. The DAX not following as well the S&P, very range modes. Keep in mind, guys, that we have um, we have ECB on Wednesday. Okay, so maybe the DAX is just cooling off, just preparing for the conference for Draghi. Okay, but the DAX here, I'm not too sure what to do. It's above that area which I was not really, which I was expecting the market to give some reaction into, and you can see it did for the first time, big red candle, but the next one green, reverse 50%. Remember, we spoke about it. Big move, then reverse very small, very slowly to the 50%, like we did here, as you can see, right? And then after the 50, guys, the only, the market can really pop or just, I don't know. But as you can see, it did popped, and here we are. So I'm not too sure what to do here on the DAX. Um, as you can see on the 50% as well. So there is a big chance for this to reaching here 12,400, which is going to be the 200 moving average and the 618. RSI continues to be on the 60, so well okay there on the daily. Um, different fib, okay, different fib at this high here, not that one. Close to the 618, uh, at the 66, so not very stretched there. Can go a little bit higher, but it's lagging, as expected. European equities lagging, against the American ones. That was expected, so not surprised there. Um, but here we are. But I don't know what to do here. I'm not too sure. Maybe very small doji here, but a little bit of a big body here, so not the greatest. So just wait, guys. Just wait to for more confirmation the DAX or other equities, but be very careful. Very, very careful trading these markets. Maybe in my view, I think it's too late to buy, and it's too scary to sell. It's funny, but that's how I feel, right? It's to at the same time that I think this can reverse hard, not reverse hard, but reverse give a good correction. At the same time, this market can continue because you know people are pricing in QE, everything else, so that's why the market is going higher like that as well. So I don't know what to do. Keep simple, guys. Keep simple. Trade things that you feel comfortable with, giving confidence, giving confirmations, giving you know, giving you ideas, confirmations, reasons to be on the trade. Don't trade something that I feel I like to trade this market, or this market can give me fast cash and things like that. That's not good reasons to be to trade. Trade easy things so you can feel comfortable, you can sleep well, you can sleep, not worrying about it. And if you get it wrong, learn from it. We learn, we only learn from the bad trades, because the good trades, everything went well, so you don't learn anything. You just win, just make good profit and that's it. So the losing trades, take those things for to be a learning lesson, and that's what I do. And I think that's all, guys. Um, Euro Aussie, nothing there. Pound New Zealand. Let's have a quick look on Pound New Zealand chart, like a channel down the 4 hour chart. No, really nothing to do here. I was actually looking at this, New Zealand crosses to see what else I could, um, sell the Kiwi against. But I don't know. Some markets I really like, but they are too late. So New Zealand yen. Let's have a quick look. This one. This one I shorted. Yeah, I shorted once I think, but boring as well. Nothing happening here. And I think that's all, guys. Nothing to do. I think we spent quite a long time together, which is good. So I think that's all for today. Any questions? If you do have any questions, let me know before we finish. Yeah, I think that's all, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Like I said before, I will confirm when the daily sessions will be, so you guys can get prepared and be here with me. And so I will let you guys know for sure um, when we will have them, which is going to be like a fixed hour of the day. And thanks so much for being here. So if you liked the video, guys, give a like on the video. Subscribe to my channel too, because these two things will only give me more reasons to continue doing this. Maybe I can even do more live sessions. Maybe twice a day, something like that. So that's very important to give me uh, confidence to go forwards. So thanks so much, guys, for being here. I appreciate everything. I will keep you guys posted in the chat room um, about updates and everything else. And very soon we will have our daily analysis session together. Okay, guys. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week, and I speak to you guys soon. Take care. Thanks so much, guys. Bye bye.